What is poppin' YouTube? It is your boy. Today we got ourselves a nice little commentary video about what I feel the future of the Division PvP looks like. So where are we at? Global events are over. The grind has stopped for most people. Other than the people who are going for classified gear with the open world bosses, I think more people are starting to gravitate back towards the DZ. I see kind of a more influx of players, you know what I'm saying? It is kind of hard still because people are still spread around, but for the most part, people are getting their current gear as maxed out as possible, using their classified combinations. People got ninja bikes by this time, and so and so. So, playing Last Stand, I had to play it. I feel like when I tried going to DZ, I did have a little bit of an issue. There's probably like half the players, it feels like, across the servers. That could have just been, I could have been at a bad time or a bad day, whatever, but I kind of felt more inclined just to go straight to Last Stand because I know for sure PvP was popping there, since people got, you know, their classified gear and they want the maxed out version to see how it works and how it melts, and it does. If you have a classified setup, however you have it, it melts in Last Stand, since you have, you know, super capabilities in there, even though everybody has their maxed out stamina and whatnot. But as far as like PvP and where it's going, I see a couple of metas. I see, of course, the ninja bike thing. I see shotguns as something that's going to be eventually used, especially when the classified sentry comes out, when they mix that with Lone Star, because people are already running around with semi one-shot builds. I don't see a problem with Deadeye. I haven't been shot by a Deadeye. I haven't ran into a Deadeye. I kind of feel like people are too impatient to play the sit on cover, wait type role, especially with the amount of melt that people have now with these different types of hybrids. I see like the Franken build where it's like a high-end mix with like two classified random pieces so that none of the abilities proc, so you can just get your 1.7 version of the high-end build. So I see these types of builds and I see the route that they're going. I see the type of gameplay you're gonna have to play around, and it's dope. It's not as diverse as I thought it would be. Like, I imagine like the craziest combinations, but I mean, it is something. It is more than what we had last patch. And of course, there are the flame turrets of Doom, which are possibly like the strongest flame turrets that we've ever came across. I've seen people with like 22 and 23k damage flame turrets. It's insane. But PvP's healthy. It's just, I feel it's kind of barren because a lot of people wanted more off the initial bat, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the hype was resulted around global events going for the mask. People weren't even really going for the classified gear. People really wanted the mask, and people, you know, they put all their time and energy towards grinding these leaderboards, trying to get the hourly. Some people cheesed and whatnot, but PvP was definitely not the focus for this past week. It was really hard to get consistent fights, especially because everybody wanted to get their masks to look cool when they do have their builds and whatnot. But now that everybody has their masks, you can see truly like where the PvP is going to go, how people are playing it. Since most people who have like the tier 3 masks, those or extreme grinders, they should have like all the classifieds, no doubt. And you could tell when you run into a team with like a full final measure and a full Lone Star, you could tell the incredible difference classified does against the regular gear. And the problem I see with this, I feel like since exotics are already hard to get, like we all know when you farm open world bosses, unless you have super RNG luck, most people are going to have an issue getting full classified pieces if they didn't have the time. Me, myself, I don't even have one single full classified piece, and I play quite a bit. I got unlucky with getting a bunch of Deadeye backpacks, and it kind of sucked. I had like 5 Deadeye backpacks, which could have been 5 different pieces of classified gear, which could have completed any of my gear because I'm missing like 1 on each. But the players who didn't necessarily have the time, they worked, they're on vacation, like myself, I was on vacation. They didn't have the raw chance to get the best classified, you know what I'm saying? The best chance at the classified, which was those caches, unless they wait until the next one, which is, I believe, a month away, I guess. Or you can do the open world bosses and have the same drop as like an exotic, which means you're going to be spending all day for like one piece. And if you get that one piece, it could be any of them. So you know, it kind of sucks in that regard. I have to see how it plays out, see what the drop rates are looking like. But as far as PvP, those players will always be at a disadvantage until they get a classified, in a sense that they haven't already, you know, found out their ninja bike fusion or however, because Ninja Bike backpack builds, they do compete with the classifieds, but I'm just saying in a team setting, it is really difficult to win against a full classified team, and let alone when Reclaimer comes out and Sentry and then Striker, all those different ones that come out. If it's the same scenario where the players don't have time to get it, it's going to be really rough for them to compete, especially when a good player has that much of a stat difference on you. But I see final measure being implemented really good. They made it worth using. A lot of people are using it because it does shut down a lot of situations where they probably would have died with shock nades or frag nades with short bows, whatever. So short bows are really getting countered, and the more the game goes on, so in about like 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be really rough for short bow users, because they're just going to be feeding final measure people nades, because final measure people are starting to fall in love with the gear set because they're able to do damage along with it, especially with the classified. As far as like turrets and stuff, I still see turrets. They're going to be annoying. They're more of annoying than game breaking. They are extremely irritating because people who are running them just run in circles around it, which is nothing new. Like, we've seen this in every patch that fire turrets have been a thing, but more so now they're 10 times more safe if they know how to place it, because you can't even begin with a med kit. It doesn't matter. You can't approach them. It's too powerful. It will shred your health all the way down, like as if you're getting hit with a tackle. And the med kits don't save you because you get instant proc. So the fire turrets are still going to be the new version of the skill issue. So people, you know how we had our Seeker Mine issue with the skill builds, that they're going to be running fire turrets because fire turrets are going to be hit. So yeah, pretty much I see shotguns, fire turrets, ninja builds, and of course the classifieds with teams. More so, classifieds aren't that OP in a single setting, like when you're solo. I don't really see very many classifieds, or at least with these 3 that we have now, being an issue besides the shotgun. But when you have a full team of classified, it's really tough to take you guys down. It's like you have to pick and choose when to get in and out. But for the most part, that's how I feel on where PvP is going. For those who want to, you know, spec towards those type of things, those are the kind of situations I personally have seen. Other than the fact that, you know, we are still diving in, we're still figuring out what's OP and what's not. But for the most part, I think it's pretty healthy to say that classified teams are going to be super difficult to deal with, especially as a solo player. Nades used to save people, you know, take those chunks of health out. You're not going to have that with people running classified final measure, especially because that's one of the gear sets people are already were taken into consideration last patch, but now they got an extra buff on top of that. It's something that a good team's gonna run. But as far as PvP, I think it is healthy, but to some, I can see where it would be underwhelming. People at this point, like, to keep it real, yes, we love the masks. Yes, vanity has been something in every game that people like. You know, I mean, shoot, most of the free-to-play games make all their money off of vanity items, but this isn't a free-to-play game, so people aren't going to let that argument slide. But most people want new gear sets. Most people want new weapons. Most people want new stuff instead of just tinkered with stuff. And I think that, you know, it's reasonable. People have been waiting for a long time. I'm not saying it's needed. I trust that, you know, the developers, they know 10 times more than I do. I would never question their decisions, but I can also understand where players feel they need something new. And I kind of feel like when we get new gear sets, that's when PvP is going to feel different. You can refine every little thing, take away Seekers and its quality of life, but PvP will always feel the same as long as we have the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? But thank God Seeker Mines are gone, because that is a big thorn out of the DZ where you don't really have to worry about stuff. But as far as that, I just want to let you guys, you know, give you a little update on how I feel about PvP for those who are about to transition back into it. If you're still farming and you wanted to know like what to expect and how it's going to feel, it's pretty much the same, man, minus Seeker Mines, and a little bit more difficult with the different types of combinations, and you won't be able to read exactly what you're going up against. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to put this out there. I know it sounds kind of mellow. I just woke up, but I had to put something out for you guys. A lot of people have been asking me like what the PvP is going to be like, and that's pretty much it. So thank y'all for stopping by. Smash a like if you enjoyed. Your boy is out.